Hello, everybody. We're starting off a little bit late, but hopefully that'll be okay. And we're starting off the stream with a bit of a awkward thing going on here because we're going to be pushing my computer to the absolute brink. At least for a little bit, at the start. So let's try to help out my computer just a wee bit. Okay, so that's the email for, I just got, that means we're live. Let's check the audio. Okay, and we got audio. Okay, I'm gonna do that. That way we don't have to keep up with the live news there. And I'm also gonna do something even more awkward here. I'm gonna refresh the page and then share this. La la la. There we go. And there we go. Sure, why not? All right. Just texted somebody that we're live, and we just look at that. We already got one concurrent viewer. Me though, just me briefly going on to share the link to the stream. So welcome everybody. Uh-oh. And this is what happens when you push the computer too hard. It starts dropping frames. Nope, and our connection's back. Okay, that was weird. Right, so we're gonna start off with no music just for now, because so the reason why my computer is on the brink of annihilation like this is because of bad Apple, as per usual. We're on day number 33 out of hopefully not very many left. I'm thinking probably 1 or 2 days left of some 30 hours worth of 3D printing, and then we'll be done. That'll be so nice. We've been printing that thing since July. This is nuts. This is an insane project. So as soon as we get I'm currently trying to load up this last day of printing, 44 hours worth of footage, which will be compressed into about 3 or 4 seconds, if we're lucky. Because Bad Apple's a very smooth animation, which runs at I'm supposed to run this thing at 5 frames per second. Each frame takes about an hour to print. So, yeah. No. Each frame takes about half an hour to print. It's not quite that bad. So that means I have 88 frames total, and we're going at 5 frames per second, so we have around 16 seconds. Nah, that doesn't sound right. Maybe 8 seconds. Probably less. Most likely less. Because obviously it's not a perfect half hour to a frame kind of conversion. This is a computer we're talking about. It's not going to be perfect. So, hello, one viewer. Today we'll be working on Risk, or Castle Risk. So let's see. Today, what could we do today? Today, the idea is either we can either work on the main game. Okay, I'm gonna do this though. Right. So, in the last couple streams, we finished the attack cycle. That's basically the process by which the process in which the player is going to actually attack a place, select the place, and attack another place, either with an admiral or with some other modifications, whatever other sorts of modifications, all of which are listed over here, or at least those are the different game states that the game's going to try to keep track of. Does this sign say something? Okay, that was a to-do thing. So we even have a fast forward button. So at this point, yeah, so I think from here, what we need to do is, let's maybe work on actually playing the cards. Because this is going to be something that's going to make a pretty big difference. So let's see, let's hop into our functions. We have our folder, Z cards. So currently the two that we have right now are the spy and the diplomat. And yeah, that's a thing there. Ooh, we should also do hidden armies. Oof. This is where things get complicated. Okay, anyway. So, when a jet... Let's do the admiral first. So when the admiral is first activated, this is where we need to do... let's see. So what we need to do when you first play the admiral is essentially place a ship. Excuse me. Well, actually, how do we do that? How about above the player, we mark the fact that the player currently has an admiral active. This will also help with showcasing when a general is active, or it's not going to help with diplomat, but it is going to help with general, marshal, and admiral, which are pretty much the three main things that are actually going to actually impact how the gameplay goes. So what I'm going to do here is maybe have a little spot. So this is going to be kind of like with Texas Hold'em Poker, where we basically had a special displays for what kind of player this was or what their abilities would be. We're going to have a similar kind of thing here. So I want to place a netherite block. Let's say, where do we put this? How about right here? So I'm going to put a sign here. Let's make this a different kind of sign. Make it a jungle sign, just to mark the fact that this is a to-do. So this is where we're going to place the admiral marker. This is where we're going to place the marshal marker and the general marker. Okay, so then, right, so this is going to be active during a generic game. Is this a thing that's just always going to be active? Is that a thing that's always needs to be active? Yeah. Yeah, this needs to always be active. Okay. So this is going to be always active when game is on. Okay. So that means up on top of here, we can also add on. We're going to execute at A. Actually, let's do at E. So if we have a tag of use admiral, then we run predicate equals risk in dimension, tag equals use admiral marker to be 1.5 blocks above you. Actually, let's make that 2 blocks above you. Let's make the admiral above that, so that's 2. Otherwise, we'll have use general marker, and we'll have use Marshall marker. That's not how you spell Marshall. There we go. Okay. From there, we'll have execute unless entity at ease, risk in dimension, tag equals use admiral, run TP. This is something that I've not actually used anywhere else in any other game thus far. So we're going to have a reset thing where it'll reset to these coordinates, 11.5, 57.0, 3.5. We'll have a reset for the actual markers. Okay, and this is also where we're going to put the use general marker and the use Marshall marker. So this is purely visual. It's not going to, I don't think this is going to actually be used for anything other than visual purposes. But for the purposes of visual, visuals is kind of important because, this is a player action sort of thing. So that also means that, let's see. So that also means that if we ever execute the function admiral lose, then we should also remove the tag for you having actually used the Marshall. See, is this ready? 100%. Okay. And it's going to stay at 100% for a little while until it finally, wrong function. I want you. I need you, you. I need you, you. All right. So we need to place sandstone, and then we also need to do tag at E, predicate equals risk, in dimension, tag equals use admiral, remove use admiral. So there should only ever be one player at a time using an admiral or general or a marshal, so it really does not matter. It doesn't matter that we're just globally wiping out the tag, because there should only be one person using the tag at once anyway. Use admiral, use marshal. And then here, replace use admiral with use general. Oop. Let's not delete all that. Use general and use general. Okay, cool. So that will display so this is what's going to make a difference when we actually play each of those cards. So let's see. We're going to do tag at S, add, use general. And then we're also going to do execute in, board games risk, run set block. So here we have an active general, so we're going to place an amethyst block there. Okay. Anything else that we need to do for this? I don't think so. Okay. And this is pretty much it for the marshal and the admiral as well, I think. Because, the admiral is going to be significantly more complicated, as per usual. But it is but the actual So I'm going to need to, using the admiral requires summoning a boat at a particular place, letting the players load the armies onto the boat, and then doing stuff with that boat. But the thing is with the admiral is, okay, so I'm going to tag add s, add, use admiral. I'm pretty sure that if I remember what we did last time correctly, then during the attack cycle is when the boat actually gets placed. Let's see, is this attack cycle during? Wouldn't it be attack cycle before? Yeah, it would be. It would be in the attack cycle before. So in the before stage, yeah, attack phase 2. So that means if there is an admiral, then summon a boat, and that does all this stuff here. It should be in before phase 2. Initialize admiral, which does, it sets up the admiral points, right, and it sets up the, yep, this is where it summons the boat and does all the other stuff, and then gives players the token. Okay. Excellent. Oh, this needs to do execute as at A, in dimension, tag equals attack, run that function. Just in case it's not clear. Okay. Cool. So in that case, yeah. Right. So placing or saying I declare I shall use an admiral, how does the attack cycle actually determine whether or not an admiral is actually being used? Let's answer that question. Okay, how's Bad Apple going? As soon as this is ready, we can do the, I'm going to set up the Bad Apple thing, and then we can turn on the music. Because right now, yeah, the music's going to overstress the computer way too much. Okay, so that's Admiral. Can we open attack cycle before, please? Hi, I'd like to open this file. I would like to open this window. You know, like the operating system Windows is supposed to let you do. Let's see here. Right. So if I attack phase 2. So if that block is an amethyst block, which block? 1156 positive 9, which is this guy, active admiral. Okay, so that means we need to place a we need to make this an amethyst block. Okay, cool. Load games risk, set block there, amethyst block. Okay. Anything else that we need to? Oh, when you place an admiral or something like that, we need to prevent you from being able to place another one. And in fact, we need to do that everywhere. Set block there, sandstone. Okay. So once you play an admiral or a general or a marshal, we need to prevent you from playing another one, because you can't have two active at once. Okay. And when we lose the admiral or general or marshal, then we need to re-enable the ability to play another one. Let's see. So in general, and also general lose, these are the functions that are going to execute when the general or the marshal die. Okay, so for general, I want to do allow to play a general. I'm going to set this guy to a sandstone block. I want general lose to place an amethyst block there, basically re-enabling the ability to play a general. Okay, and then similarly with marshal and marshal lose, yeah, you can see my GPU spiking like crazy. That's because of bad apple. Okay, allow to play a marshal, so we need to place a sandstone block here. Right there. And then when we lose the marshal, we need to re-enable the ability to play one. Okay, cool. And with that, I think that about covers it. So from there, the actual use of the general and marshal, those have already been coded in for when we resolve the dice, because the general and marshal is something that change how the dice behave. Changes how those are handled. So let's see. Hey, bad apple, you ready? No, of course not. Still stuck at 100%. Because of course you are. Man, I hate when progress bars do that. Okay. I think that is sufficient. It's also sufficient for the admiral, general, and the marshal. Okay, so all that's left to deal with are reinforcements. That's in Castle Risk, and also pairs of cards. That's that's in regular Risk. I should also add on here hidden armies, linking them to a country. And then we also have hidden armies revealing. Okay. Excuse me. Radio. So how to do this? This is going to make things difficult. So reinforcements and pairs of cards. Those are something that will the behavior will change based on how long the game has been going, which makes things interesting. So let's see. For this, I think it might actually be best. We're going to need to pull up the rules. That way we can because I think the best way to do this would be to have some kind of progress bar, like maybe just on the side of the arena right here, which will just display like at what stage the game is at. So let's see. So let's go into function here. Let's open up map risk. And let's get the actual numbers. Computer, loading up a PDF. So we're going to stress this computer just a wee bit more. Just a wee bit. Okay. The World Conquest game. Okay. So we want to go to page 7, which is all about the risk cards. Do, 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 do. Getting and placing armies. So that's the territories. The risk cards that you trade in. Okay. So you will earn 1 risk card. You're trying to collect sets of 3 cards. Okay. So let's write these down, and then we'll see how to implement these. So let's see. We need to do 3 cards of same design, 1 card, each of different design. So 3 cards of each of different design, each of the same design, and then also can swap any with wild. So you may turn them in at the beginning of your next turn, or you may wait. If you have 5 or 6 cards at the beginning of your turn, you must trade in at least 1 set and may trade in a second set if you have one. Yeah, I'm not going to implement that. There's not really a need to trade in, so okay. Okay, so let's write this down. So we have first set gets 4. So each set you trade in gets an extra set of armies. Third set gets you 8. Fourth set gets you 10. Fifth set gets you 12. Don't know why that's bolded in the rules there. And then the sixth set gets you 15. Seventh plus gets you add 5 to previous. Okay. And that's traded in by anyone during the game. You may receive no more than 2 extra armies above and beyond those you receive them. What? Well, that's supposed to mean. On a single turn, you may receive no more than 2 extra armies above and beyond those you received for the matched sets of cards you trade in. So So you either trade in cards or you get your armies? That makes no sense. No matter how many you receive at the start of your turn, to play them carefully, yada yada. Okay. Okay. That's a strategy thing. Okay, so actually, because of the order of things here, it actually is a good idea to maybe have the 5 or 6 requires a trade-in. Okay, so we're going to have here, if have 5 to 6 cards at start of the turn, require to trade in. Okay, so this is for risk. And then so this is risk when sets of cards. Okay. Now here, so then there's Castle Risk. This is reinforcements plus hidden armies. So now for this, let's see. This one's also progressive. Like the amount progresses upwards each time somebody plays reinforcements, and the hidden armies goes one level above that. However, this doesn't really have to do. And also the special modifications do change this. So with special mod for Castle Risk, we have each hidden army that you reveal is worth 5, 5, 10, 10, 15. So basically, you're given 5 hidden armies, and I think the way to do that with the special mod is to just count how many hidden armies you have left, and go like, oh, if you have 4 left, then you get an extra 5 armies, or if you have 3 left, you get an extra 5. If you have 2 left, you get an extra 10. If you have 1 left, you get an extra 10, and if that's your last hidden army, you get an extra 15. I think that's the best way to do that. So let's see, reinforcements. Hidden armies. Okay, reinforcements. So you use to reinforce additional armies to place in one or more of the territories you occupy. Yep. So play 1 more before starting the first attack of your turn. Place the cards under the numbered edge of the game board, 1 card to each number in numerical order. The sum of the numbers above the cards you have just played is the number. Oh, yeah. So if you play multiple reinforcements at once, you get all of them. All the ones that you're supposed to. Okay. That makes sense. And then when you have hidden armies, it should be just the number 1 above the current highest reinforcement thing, right? Okay. At any time during the game, to defend the territory they occupy or to attack from that territory. You must occupy before bringing them out. Place on that territory the number of armies equal to the number above the last reinforcement card played. Yep. Okay. So, hidden armies worth the next number above the highest reinforcement number. Okay, cool. So with that, now what we need is just a picture of the board, which we have right here. I'm going to close these PDFs. How's Bad Apple going? Still not good. What's up with that? Why isn't it loading? That's slightly concerning. Anyway, let's minimize that screen. Okay. Open up the Photos app. Let's see. Yeah. The 2 games for the price of 1 box. This right here is exactly what I have at home. This is not a picture that I took. I stole this from the internet. But this box is exactly what I have. So it's worth 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And there's a limit to how many reinforcement cards there are. Okay. Where it goes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And actually, that makes things easy because everything's just a plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So that just means it'll be worth highest reinforcement number plus 1. Just one more above that. Okay, that makes sense. And there's not very many reinforcement cards actually in the game in the first place. So that makes that slightly more balanced. Although it does mean that if you happen to have like 3 reinforcement cards, and you just play them all at once at the basically when all of the others have already been played, you get an additional 12 plus 13 plus 14, which is 30. You just get an instant 39 armies. Just poof. Which is kind of insane. And that's one of the reasons why in the special mod for Castle Risk, reinforcements don't exist. They are intentionally removed from the game. Instead, that's why you have this whole thing where hidden armies are worth 5, 5, 10, 10, 15. Okay. And in fact, you know what? Maybe instead of a progress bar, maybe we can do better. Instead of a progress bar, we just have a number that will say how much the next set of reinforcements will be worth. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do this. Okay, so no progress bar. Instead, we're just gonna have a game kind of. We're just gonna have a giant number on the side that says how much the next set is going to be worth, or how much the next reinforcement is going to be worth. Excuse me. Global, how much the next reinforcement / card set will be worth. So we do scoreboard, objectives, add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. Let's call it next worth, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Next worth. Cool. So depending on what the game is, this will start off either at 4 and go up by 2, or it'll start at 3 and go up by 1. Unless you're playing the special mod, in which case it's irrelevant. Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay, so in that case, let's hop into Z cards then. Let's do reinforcements. Oh, and when we play the general card, we also need to do item replace entity at as weapon.main hand with air. So then add Marshal, Admiral, yeah. Okay, so reinforcements. It'll replace your thing with air, and then well, we're not going to have to worry about reinforcements if we're using the special mod. So that means, let's see. So that means we need to do a scoreboard players add k temp k next width 1. We're then going to have a we should have a thing here for when you're allowed to play reinforcements. Oh, we already have that. Tee. Okay. And you can play as many reinforcements as you want. You're allowed to play as many reinforcements as you want. It does not matter. Okay. K temp, K next width. So it bumps it up by 1, and then it gives you that amount. So we're going to do a execute unless entity at E, predicate equals risk in dimension. We're going to add it to the buffer and then give the player the buffer, or give the player tokens needed to move stuff to the buffer. I'm going to do tag equals buffer, run summon, and armor stand at 02550. Tags will be buffer, no gravity, 1B. Summon in board games risk. And then we're going to do scoreboard players add, operation at E, predicate equals risk in dimension, tag equals buffer, K army plus equals K temp, K next width. Okay, so this adds stuff to the buffer. And then from there, we then give players tokens to be able to move to whatever country they want. Right. We don't have that as a system yet. I think we need to work to make that a system. Okay, so if you select a country, this is based on attack phase 1, or depending on where you are during the attack phase. Okay. Okay, so then we do, if what you punched is an interaction, that interaction has to be a country. And what you're trying to do is work with a buffer. So we do execute if entity at E, predicate equals risk in dimension, tag equals buffer. If you punched a country while buffer is active, then you are trying to place armies there. Okay, so from here we do if, then we run scoreboard objectives add min army 1. I forgot what I called those things. This should be in move army. Okay. Move army 1, move army 2, and then move tokens, which would be in move armies, and we have give tokens. So we have min move army 1, min move army 2. Okay. Min move army 1, dummy, and min move army 2, dummy. We then set the scoreboards. So we do scoreboard players set, k temp, min move army 1. So presumably you want to move stuff to the buffer, or you want to move from the buffer to the place that you just punched. So we do run tag at e, predicate equals risk, in dimension, tag equals buffer, add move army 1, and then the thing that you just punched is going to be move army 2. So then from the buffer, the minimum should be 0. And then from the 2, we actually want to set that to whatever the current amount of armies is, because you don't want to move things off of that particular spot. We need to have another amethyst block here. So this would be amethyst equals placing reinforcements, placing troop additions, or reinforcements. Because this is a special game state to be distinguished from something like a troop movement. 1256.7. In board games risk, if block that is an amethyst block. Okay. So then we set operation min move army 2. We set that equal to the thing that you just punched. So risk in dimension, tag equals punch, limit equals 1. K army. Except that's not going to help much. So instead we should do tag equals country, predicate equals risk match country ID, and we yoink that country ID from players operation k temp country ID equals at e predicate equals risk in dimension tag equals punch limit equals 1. So we yoink the country ID, and we want to target the country that matches that ID. And that's the minimum number of things that should be in that army. Okay, and then from there, we then give tokens. Run, return run, function, risk, z move armies, give tokens. Okay. And then the tokens guide the way from there. Okay, so actually, let's be a little bit smarter about this, because right now, as soon as you punch, so I just realized I'm being dumb here, because as soon as you punch a country, the tag punch gets immediately erased because it's supposed to be a temporary action. It's supposed to be like a button that you push, which is a problem if you're then trying to link together like, hey, I want to move armies back and forth between here. So what we should do instead is tag equals reinforce army, remove reinforce army, and then tag equals punch, we add reinforce army. So then tag equals reinforce army. Okay, so we do that. And then we do this. Reinforce army. And then we give the tokens. Okay, so that makes it a slightly more permanent thing. So you give the tokens, at which point, in the process of give tokens, if you then confirm that you're done there, so we want to do a confirm. So this is moving armies onto the admiral boat, move on to the next attack phase before, and then if this was adding armies from a buffer, then let's see. This is adding armies from a buffer, then remove tag reinforce army. So execute if, basically if we're in this situation. So while the buffer is active, you can either punch to so if that's an amethyst block, then we run tag at E, predicate equals risk in dimension, tag equals reinforce army, remove, reinforce army. And in fact, because we have this clear the buffer first, what's up, Snowing? Sadly, no music right now, because currently my computer might just fry itself into a million pieces, because I'm currently trying to render a 3D printing footage thing. So, what's up, Snowing? How you doing? You want to play on the server? Just let me know. Good to see ya. Okay. So if we have something in the buffer, and we're supposed to be placing stuff from reinforcements, then reinforce army, remove reinforce army. We're then going to do run kill at E, predicate equals buffer. So we remove the buffer. And then run return run set block 1256.7 with the sandstone. And stop the reinforcement process. Okay, cool. In that case, okay, so since you're just trying to go Okay, so if we're trying to place reinforcements from just a generic buffer, then this system should do its thing. Yeah. Okay, cool. In that case, that should be that done. Because the reinforcement cards, when you play that, let's check this. I don't know why YouTube isn't displaying the stats. Oh, is it because did snowing leave? I hope not. Okay. Let's see, Z cards. Okay, so let's open up the cards folder. So for reinforcements, this should be it. So we got next worth, we have a buffer. Yeah. We add stuff to the buffer. And then that should be that done. So we should do telraw telraw.s. You know what? We should do messages. We should give the player instructions as like a separate thing, because that's going to be really helpful to have like people on the stream to help me out with like what would help as a useful message, what would be helpful to like describe exactly what you need to be doing. So I think that's that for now. When you punch so when you actually punch the country, you need to make sure you actually own the place. So we should do run execute unless entity execute if entity at s tag equals player 1 unless entity at e predicate equals risk in dimension tag equals punch. So if you are not tagged as player 1, does it need to be player 1 army or just player 1? Let's see. Where else do we use this? We use this when we do deciding if the attack cycle, if the attack is actually valid. So when we validate an attack, we just call it player 1. Okay, cool. In that case, where'd it go? There it is. It's hard to see in sunglasses. So unless that is player 1, then we run return run telraw at s text you don't own this country. Color red, bold, true. Yelling at the player. So if you're a player 1 and you punch something that's not player 1, so in fact, let's just do this. If it's something that's not tagged as player 1, then yell at the player. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. And we do one of those. And we do one of these. Okay, cool. And that tells us that all is well. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. So to yell at you if you don't own the country, that you're trying to place armies onto. Otherwise, it will tag it as reinforce army, or remove and then retag. And then we do and actually we should only do a retag if your current tag is not reinforced army. Oh gosh. How do we do that? How do you only do it one? Or we could just have it where if you're indecisive, you get punished. You just get punished for being indecisive. Because the current issue with this plan, let's say you punch one country and you say, hey, add 2 armies to this from the buffer. And then you go select another country. So at this point, this country's closed. Like, closed for comment. You can't, there's nothing to be added there. But then if you reactivate it to try to add stuff to there, you would not be able to remove armies from there that you just, even though you added 2 in that single turn that you already had, you won't be able to remove those 2. And I'm not sure if I actually want to change that. Is that worth trying to do? Worth trying to change? Or do we just go, you moved on? That's on the player for being indecisive. Just move on. And the reason this is a debate is because I mean the more user-friendly option would be to allow the player to go back and change stuff. However, Braveheart actually ran into this issue in his work. The whole thing where if you scrolled, like, something he was dealing with was he was trying to make like a web form sort of thing. And the issue was that if you scrolled up on an Apple phone, because Apple is dumb, if you scrolled up on an Apple phone and then scrolled back without hitting confirm first, then the information would just be blanked. Would just be completely blanked out. Which is not exactly very user-friendly, but also, and he ran into a problem with that because, I mean, the thing he was trying to build was supposed to be user-friendly, and so it's not an option to basically punish the user for being dumb or being indecisive. But in this case, this will need to be a conscious decision. Do we punish the player for being indecisive? There's currently nobody online. So while we decide that, oh, actually, Bad Apple's ready. Yay! Okay, let's go through and do the work out the camera work. So I have my replay mod info up here. So we're going to have -6, -14, 1605, 180.00. So that's the first frame of this thing. And then we need to move this back all the way to 1684. By far the farthest. This is the most blocks I think I've printed in a single run, period. Which is kind of wild. Which is why it took 44 hours to do. Okay, so I need 2654 minutes, 19 seconds, 801 milliseconds. I already worked out that math beforehand. So there we go. And that's that. Okay, cool. Okay, so that is that complete. can delete that. And now Minecraft is going to crash. So I'm going to just forcefully close this thing, because otherwise it's just not going to figure itself out. I've done this 30-something times already. It's never going to figure itself out. There's just no point. There's no point even getting it to try. Although, what we can do, what I have been doing, if you go in here, you get a special timelines file for all your trouble. So I am going to yoink this file. Ding ding. Day 33 timelines. Okay. And with that, the next time we open the replay mod user thing for the next edition of Bad Apple 3D printing, it'll count as it'll freak out like, oh no, this didn't save. Well, there we go. Now so then we can push it to, yes, please save. Please try to restore. It will. And we back up this day 33, and then we move on to the next day, which will most likely be the last question mark. No, we still got another couple hundred. No, actually, hold up. Is that the last day? Wait, just one gosh darn diggity dog minute. 1629. Okay. So I've been going it's about 50 blocks per 30-hour run. There's 1,739 slices. So that means in order to make something like this happen, so in that one single day, we went we went exactly 79 blocks. So if we were to do another, I'm not sure how feasible doing a 44-hour. No, it's definitely not going to be a 44-hour run. Okay, so that's definitely off the table. Okay. This is not the last day then. Day 35 is most likely going to be the last day, which will hopefully be happening this weekend. That'd be really nice. I can finally be done with formatting my computer with 3D printing Bad Apple. What a ridiculous project that is. Okay. Cool. And with that, let's turn on some music. Okay, we don't have the full 2 hours anymore, but we can still put on some music. Let's do Horizons. Why not? Why not? Okay. There we go. We got some music going in the background. So it's I no longer have to yap constantly. I can actually sit there and go, pondering, going, If the person I invited joins on, that'll be a fun reference for you. Because that's how I've described. That's how math research goes as well. It's an awful lot of just sitting there going, maybe a monad is a monoid in the category of endofunctors. That's basically all it is. That's how programming is too. It's very thinky kind of thing. Even in Minecraft, where it's also involves some physical moving around. Minecraft programming is a lot like rock climbing. Both are very thinky tasks, which also involve physical exercise. The difference is that with rock climbing, you're physically moving in IRL, and with Minecraft, you're moving your character around over here, and your butt is still very firmly plopped on a seat in IRL. But other than that, they're exactly the same. You can quote me on that. Rock climbing and Minecraft programming are the same. Because that makes sense. Yep. Okay. Cool. And I think with that, we have reinforcements complete. So we need sets of cards. We need to replace card pairs with card sets. Okay. Let's see here. So, how to do this? Okay, so that's reinforcements. That's basically that done. We'll need to figure out something special to do with buffers. But other than that, I think that's that done. Okay, cool. Okay, and we just added the ability to move stuff from the buffer to the country that you selected. So, yay, progress in that regard too. Okay. So next up, we should look at dealing with the sets of cards. Let's see. Sets of cards. So really the question is, let's see. We should not do a thing where it automatically assume. Here's the question. With Ticket to Ride, if you were trying to place 3 pinks at once on a line that required 3 pinks, it was pretty easy because you selected a thing that said that required 3 pinks. So if you don't have 3 pinks, you get punished. But if you do, just yoink the 3 pinks. A pink is a pink is a pink. They're basically the same. Now this is different because we have 3 different designs of risk cards plus a wild. Wilds always make things complicated. And so what we need to do is let's see. So I think what we should have is a kind of verification system. Basically, play your cards, and once there's 3, it'll just detect when there's 3 and then either yell at you or give you back the cards. And I think I do want the option to maybe punch the cards to punch one of the cards to get it back. Okay. Okay. So for country card, we should have 3 different designs. So if you have it like that, and then wild is going to be a separate thing. And then we have secret missions as their own thing. Yeah. Okay. So that means we need to go in and change the resource pack, which is fine. Okay. So go into here. Got models, item, paper. Okay. So this is going to be 3745 for a secret mission. And then we need 3740. We need country card 1, 2, 3, wild. Country card 3, country card 2. Okay. Ooh. You know what there should also be? For the purposes of mapping utilities, arrow for attacking from. We should have that 3714. And then attacking to 3715. So we need to have arrow models for that. So we have attack from and attack to. Okay, we should also have that here. And we should position those there as well. Okay. Cool. So that's that. We should definitely... Okay. And there's a lot of models with risk, holy smokes. But I guess that's the risk that you run when you try to make a really complicated game like this. Yeah, this is easily, in terms of mechanics and in terms of the programming involved, this is easily going to be the most complicated game on the hub. Easily. Okay, so we have okay, so hidden army. Does that use the secret card thing, or does it use the... It uses the secret card thing. Okay. Confirm move should be the just standard token stuff. Yes. Okay. So we have attack from and attack to. This is attack to. This is attack from. Okay. And then in risk, we have country card 1. Nope. We should call this country card 1. Country card 2, 3, and wild. There we go. Wild. Wild. And country card 2. There we go. Okay. Alrighty then. And we should maybe also change the language file to reflect this. So let's do that. So this is in risk. So country card, risk card, design 1. Design 2 and 3, and wild. Okay. So that should do it there. Okay. Then secret mission is a secret mission. Anything else here? Well, the arrows, you should never have an arrow item. So that should be fine. Okay, cool. Sweet. That'll do there. Okay. So now we can set up the thing to place sets of cards. So let's see. Let's see here. So we want to do a let's see. Okay, so we should also do a in Z cards. We should have a sets of cards play. We should have a sets of cards give back, and we should have a sets of cards validate. And this way we can do when we punch something that has a tag of, if you selected a card set that you place down. So we do then give back the card set. Execute if entity at E predicate equals risk in dimension. Tag equals punch is also tag equals if the tag punch is tag card set, then run return run function risk Z cards sets of cards. What do we call this? Sets of cards give back. And also we should do if punch tag equals select country. Nope, should be just tag equals country. Select country. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, what we should do is, if we're in this state, then, I mean, you really shouldn't be punching anything else, because there's nothing really else to do. Go and execute if entity at E, predicate equals risk in dimension, tag equals punch. If what you punched is not tagged as country, then just return nothing. You shouldn't be punching there. Okay. Cool. So then if you punch a card set, then give back those cards. If entity at S, tag equals attack. You should only be doing this if you're the attacking player. If you're not the attacking player, what are you doing? Yeah, so then we also do execute well, that's where we do the is your turn thing. So actually it doesn't matter. Okay, never mind. We're good. Yeah, if it's not your turn, you don't get to do anything. At least not with selecting a country. Okay, cool. Cool. So this gives back the set of cards. Okay, cool. So let's make the system to give back the cards. So we're going to do execute as at E, predicate equals risk, in dimension, tag equals card sets, limit equals 1, sweat equals random. That's what we tag this thing, right? We're calling it card set, one singular. Add extract card. So there should be a maximum of 3 cards currently on there. So we do add extract card. Type equals item display. Type equals card set. Extract card. And then we do execute add at S. So this executes as the player who needs their cards back. So then we do the classic thing where we summon an item at their feet. Tags equals temp. We've done this loads of times in all sorts of other games. This is how the main mechanism for distributing the cards for the actual game. This is where that happens. So we should be able to go into any of these like a Z-start game sort of thing, and just see. Nope, not in there. We should be able to go into here, into distribute green. Data modifier. What? Oh, right. Not in there. Nope, not in there either. Distribute red. Never mind. It's in the function draw red cards. Pop draw. Okay. Yep, right here. That's the good stuff. The thing that makes it all work. Tag card me, and then we have risk in dimension, tag equals card me, set from entity. Where are we getting this from? Well, we're getting it from extract card. Item. Is that what we need? So I want to get it from an item display. Okay, so let's actually do data get entity at n type equals item display. It should be item, right? Yep. Okay. It is in fact item. Okay, then we're good. From their item, tag equals card me. Then we do a kl.e, predicate equals risk in dimension, tag equals extract card. So there should be a maximum of 3 of these, at which point we then kill off the card set. Cool. Okay, so there should be 3 in total, and this will give back the cards that you just placed down. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. So now we go into the cards. So that's give back. So now we look at how to play these cards. And to do this, I think I want to steal from Tianlen. Because there we had an idea to basically the idea with Tianlen is basically when you play the card is basically plopped right down at your feet. And yes, other players can see when you play it down, but also, whatever. Oh, we got a new viewer. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Say hi in chat, please. We haven't had too many people today. Kind of disappointing, actually. But also, we are doing some pretty serious programming, so yeah, what are you gonna do? Let's see. So when we had in the play card function here, we did this. Oh, is that an armor stand? Oh, interesting. Okay, fine. That seems reasonable. Okay, fine. We'll just do the exact same thing again. We don't have to make every... Ooh! What's up? I don't know if you want me to be using your real name here, but because it looks like your YouTube name is your real name. But good to see you. What's up? Okay, so that also means we need to modify this slightly, because instead of extracting from an item, we need to be extracting from hand item 0. There we go. Okay, so we summon an armor stand. We're calling it card set. Do card set. La. Risk in dimension. New play. Really, it's called new card set. And then we do item replace. Risk in dimension. New card set. Remove your card. And we do new card set, remove, new card set. Okay, cool. So from there, then we do, so that's that. And then we should do a scoreboard objectives add. Num of cards, dummy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, there should be num of sets. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Make sure it's under 16. And then we do execute store result score ktemp k num of sets equal to, we do if entity at e, predicate equals risk in dimension, tag equals card set. Actually, it should be type equals armor stand, tag equals card set. Oh, and we also need to do this. This is a type equals armor stand. There we go, and there we go. Okay, cool. So this is detecting how many card sets we have placed. Oh, and this is also a good chance to do execute add at e predicate equals risk in dimension tag equals new card set, run summon an interaction, which will have, let's do for now width 0.5, height 0.5, and tags as card set. Okay, cool. Cool. So then if entity new card set, so this counts how many there currently are, and then if score k temp k num of sets matches 3 or more, then we do oh, we should also do a sets of cards success, which is basically going to do the same thing as the reinforcements did. So we're going to do function risk z cards sets of cards validate, and then execute if score k temp. Well, really, if k temp k valid matches 1, then we run function risk z cards sets of cards success, and then from there we do and otherwise if not successful. So if valid matches exactly 0, we do sets of cards give back, and then in any case we got to clean up our mess. We do scoreboard objectives remove k num of sets, and we also remove k valid. Okay, so from there, so now we need to fill in a validate success. We already have give back. Okay. And then otherwise, we only have the existence of k valid if, oh, actually this is an interesting question. If it says match 0, does this return anything? No. Let's say hi. It does not run. Beautiful. Okay. So that means this thing will only activate if we have at least 3 things in our card set. Okay. Beautiful. Aw. A viewer left. Sorry for it being so boring. Okay. So that means what's left is to do success and validate. So in the case of a success, then we're basically going to do the same thing as the reinforcements. Except we don't need to do that. We add 2. Actually, we do execute if score k temp k next worth matches okay. So if we start with So if we have 5 sets already put in, which means our next width is 12. We're only up to 11. Then we add 2. Otherwise, if it's 12, then we add 3. That would make it 15. And then if it's 15 or more, then we add 5. And we should do this in backwards order, because otherwise it's just going to keep adding. It's going to skip over like 3 tiers all at once. So if it's 15 or more, then add 5. If we're at exactly 12, then add 3. And then if we're at 11 or below, then add 2. Okay, cool. And then in either case, we create a buffer, add on, and then add on the next width. Okay, sweet. That should do that. Okay, that should do it. So that's the success. And now we do the validate. Okay. So what are the conditions of success? We need either 3 of the same design, 3 different designs, or you can mix and match with wilds. So let's see. We have them tagged like this. So sets of cards validate. So we do, okay, so first we got to do scoreboard objectives add kvalid dummy. Let's start it off at a value of 0. Assume it's not valid. And then we will add on the specific cases where it is valid. So, let's see. We now need a scoreboard. I think we should do this kind of like Chinese poker did, where we count how many of each type that there are, including wilds. So we have num wilds. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we have number of 3 design 3s, number of design 2s, and number of design 1s. So then we do execute store result score ktemp knum wild if entity at e predicate equals if items entity at e predicate equals risk in dimension tag type equals armor stand tag equals card set. If in your weapon.main hand you have a warped fungus on a stick with custom data, design 1b, design wild. Design wild. Okay. So we have num1, which is design 1, and 2, 3. Okay, cool. So now, we now do a score check. So, if score ktemp knum wild matches 0, then we then have to do if score ktemp knum1 matches 3, run scoreboard players set ktemp, kvalid to 1. So this is all three of them match. And then we might as well also do that if we have one wild and then the numbers here match, the other two match. Okay. And then if the number of wilds is 2, then actually it doesn't matter. Okay, so we should do, if num wilds matches 2 or more, then it's just automatically valid. Okay, so then if all three match designs, and then we also need the case of all unique designs. So then we need to do a similar kind of thing here. So if there's no matches there, then we need to ensure that we don't have 2 of the same card. Okay, so if you have 2 of the same card, then we got that. So that will only pass, and in fact we should do so actually we do need a if score num1 matches 1, if score num2 matches 1, and then if score num3 matches 1. So they all need to be unique designs. And then if you have 1 wild, then what happens? If 2 of your cards are different from each other, then let's think. If the 2 cards have different designs, then the wild is going to be the third part that makes the match. If the 2 cards are the same design, then again, guaranteed match. So actually, if you have a single wild at all, then this works. So we don't actually need this. Okay, so maybe we should just do something like, maybe we should just do something like this. And then do execute if score if you have at least 1 wild, then it's a guaranteed match. Return run, scope with objectives, remove, excuse me, okay, num wild. Okay, so if you have at least one wild, because if you have, so if the other 2 cards have the same design, then then the wild is going to be the third thing that makes the match. And then if they are different designs, then the third one's going to be the thing that matches the design again. Wow, wilds are powerful. I just realized that. In a triplet, in a set of 3, a wild is insanely powerful. you can literally play it with whatever other 2 cards that you want. Dang, that's powerful. Okay, I just realized that. Okay, so in that case, we don't even need to check if those... We don't even have to check that. So from there, all 3 need to either match, or you need unique designs. So if num 1 matches 1, if num 2 matches 1, if num 3 matches 1. Okay, cool. Then from there, do scoreboard objectives, remove key num 1, and clean up our mess. And num wild. Okay. In fact, we might as well just do it here. So in a triplet, wilds are insanely powerful. That's basically what we just figured out here. Okay, cool. And with that, I think that's good. Excuse me. Okay, that's the validation. Okay. Let's do a thing with the playing cards. Okay. So if it's an active spy, then we do this. It really should be just return run. And active spy, place a sandstone back. Okay. So execute in board games risk. If block there is an amethyst block, run, return, run, set block there a sandstone. Okay. And then diplomats and spies, you should be punching, not right clicking. You can't play that. Yep, punch a player to play the spy on them. Then punch a player to play the diplomat on them. So then sets of cards. So we do, if in your hand you have country card, yep, okay. If in your hand is a country card, then we return run in board games risk. If block, we want this thing, 1256-8. If that is a sandstone block, then run, return, run. Tell Ra, you can't play that. But otherwise, if it's an amethyst block, then we return, run, function, risk, z cards, sets of cards, play. Okay. Generals and marshals. Okay. So then we do here, if it's a general 1B, and if you are allowed to play a general, 1156-8, then we return run, function, risk z cards, general. Okay, so that's for the general. This is Marshall. So we do Marshall. We got Marshall. We've got we have marshals, we have admiral, we got that. Okay, and when we allow to play an admiral, that's this block here. Oh, places marshal. So that's 1156.7. For admirals, we have there 1156.10. There we go. That's for the admiral. Then we have reinforcements. And this will be over here when you're allowed to play reinforcements. Reinforcements, reinforcements, reinforcements. Okay. And then from there, okay, so those are the 6 cards from, oh, and that's the alarm to end. It's active spy, that kills the card. Diplomat, playing a diplomat or spy, it'll yell at you to, you shouldn't be doing that. For general, you can't play, that lets you play. Marshal, admiral, reinforcements. And then we have sets of cards. Okay. From there, there we go. Okay. Sets of cards, play. That's that. And then let's make sure we have the success all there. Just to be extra. Just to be careful here. Yeah. Oh, and this we should also do a Kill E predicate equals risk in dimension, tag equals card set. Okay. And that does the same thing as the reinforcements do, more or less. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so we should maybe be placing for both reinforcements and for the what is it? Sets of cards success. We should place amethyst block there. Execute in board games risk run set block 1256.7 amethyst block. Okay, cool. And I think we can check that off. Okay, sweet. We've just done a whole bunch of stuff involving cards and playing cards. Sweet. Okay. Okay, so I'm actually, let's see. So what did we do today? We did a bunch of card stuff. We did a bunch of, specifically the functionalities of cards. And we've made it so you can move stuff, like when you place a reinforcement card, you now have a buffer where you're placing stuff from like a central location. That's basically where the new armies kind of show up. it's using that kind of buffer system. Okay, so based on that, what's left? Hidden Armies reveal. Ooh, that's gonna be complicated. You know what? Just for the sake of completeness, let's make it so when you play the card, and what you're playing is a hidden army. Reveal hidden army. So you should only be able to reveal a hidden army if you are either on the attacking side or on the defending side. And also you need to own the country. So let's see. We should maybe also have a thing where we do hidden army check ownership. Or really, hidden army validate. That'll be a thing that basically checks the ownership. Like, do you own it, and is there a castle on it? Although you shouldn't have been able to place the hidden army on the castle in the first place if it was. So you need to make sure that you own the thing. So let's see. We should do execute if entity at s tag equals attack. Or, let's see. If what you have in your hand is a hidden army, okay, this can be finished later. So we have the fake out ending, and then, okay, let's maybe spawn point here. Okay, good. We get placed back in the proper place. Okay. In that case, I shall see y'all later. Later.